This is a final battle in the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta in 2018. If you want to learn more about the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta, go to 4jobfiesta.com. That is F-O-U-R, jobfiesta.com. Let's get right into it. This is the final battle with Exdeath and Neo Exdeath. My party is from top to bottom: Black Mage, Summoner, Chemist, and Geomancer. All the party members have their base ability plus the mix ability on them. I don't have any other party actions mixed. You can see my Chemist there is flashing from the Mirage Vest. The Black Mage has the Wizard Staff on. The Summoner has an Air Knife, as does the Geomancer. And you will see that the Chemist has the Chicken Knife in her hand. This is the initial Exdeath buffing phase, I call it. Even this first part of Exdeath is done in two parts. So the buffing phase, when you have bards or chemists, you take some time at the beginning here when Exdeath is in his least dangerous form, and you get yourselves buffed up. Now, White Hole is still an issue, and one thing I could have done or could do to protect myself is you can burn Dragon Fang. You can mix Dragon Fangs and I believe Phoenix Downs, or I think it's Dragon Fangs, Phoenix Down, to put on Shell and protect on your characters, but that can get knocked out if they die. And then you have wasted a Dragon Fang. So it's better, in my opinion, to use those Dragon Fangs on something that cannot go away. You can use Dragon Fang and Elixir to give yourself the same effect as a Giant Drink, which my Chemist did the Giant Drink herself there, so she was fine. So she can get that without burning a Dragon Fang. But I don't like to burn that many items, and you don't really need to with this battle, in all honesty. So most of these are level buffing. I did a couple of Dragon Powers, so this is a Drain Kiss coming up. So Dragon Powers are a Dragon Fang and a Maiden's Kiss, I believe. Or no, Dragon Fang and Potion to give you 20 levels. The other one is Samson Power, that is an Antidote and Holy Water that gives you 10 levels. These levels will also help you resist White Hole, and my hoping was that I could build my levels up fast enough that I would be dodging some of these White Holes from Exdeath, but it didn't really happen. I wasn't dodging it from sheer level advantage, because there is a level check on any spell that has a chance to hit. And we'll see that happen in the Neo battle, so here as my Chemist gets hit with another one. So had we gone for the Dragon Armor to put on Protect and Shell on my characters, she would have gotten an extra 50% evade on the White Hole, which is good, and it would have made them a lot harder to land, but they still can land. Exdeath can still also land physical attacks that will kill you. Something in the later part of this battle here, or this phase here, is it can cast Holy, and that can kill you even with Shell on for a lot of my characters. So I didn't want to waste a Dragon Fang doing that. I did leave some in reserve in case I really had to, but I didn't want to waste one in the second phase. If I did not kill the Almagest piece with my Summoner or my Black Mage casting Shoat or Break, my last resort was to put Shell on a couple of my characters to try to survive Almagest with a couple characters and then get back to it. So we're still in the buffing phase here. We're just boosting our levels. My Geomancer is going to be doing Wind Slash, of all things, boosted with the Air Knife. And these levels are just going to give her a lot more damage. But you can see Drain Kiss doing much better damage than that. She's sucking up all the hit points she needs right from Exdeath. Now, we have done a few of these Drain Kisses to Exdeath, so we've knocked him into his more dangerous routine, sort of inadvertently. I kind of knew it would be coming up soon, but once we start doing damage especially, we're going to knock him into the more dangerous parts of his routine. So now that you're seeing damage going into him, and there's over 7,000 damage, that's just from the sheer level explosion. That Black Mage, I haven't counted, but that Black Mage is probably right around a level 100 or a little bit more, because you can break the level cap with chemistry mixes. So that is moving the Chicken Knife from one hand to the other. I'm not going to physically attack with the Chemist at all, but the Chicken Knife gives her +5 to agility, so she will get actions much more quickly with that Chicken Knife in her hand. And she can't have anything boosted by any other weapon that she has in her hand, so it was best to just put the Chicken Knife in there so she gets the agility bonus, and she can go there. That was a Resurrection, so that's a Phoenix Down mixed with a Potion, and that resurrects you with full health. That's actually a really great deal, because potions are so cheap. There's a Wind Slash, and it's boosted with the Air Knife. And the Geomancer and the Chemist are not going to do great damage. They're not going to do very much. They have boosted themselves a little bit. They'll do decent damage. You can see 2,600, less than 3,000, but the real stars of the damage show are going to be my casters right here. So now I'm putting on a casting of Golem. I'm kind of getting ready for the next part of this fight. I could have done that earlier, the Golem, and I will also put on a little bit of Reflect once we're getting ready for that second phase to bounce off the Delta attacks that are going to be coming in the first phase of that battle. So that Golem ate up that physical attack right there, so that kept my Black Mage on his feet, so that was worth a cast right there. Here's another Drain Kiss. So that Holy means he was in his more dangerous part of the routine, but we did avoid the Meteo, which can come in its most dangerous form. So now we are going on to Exdeath was engulfed by the Void. I have not put on Carbuncle for Reflect. I kind of wish I had gotten a shot at doing that. That was my plan when I was playing this. I was planning on putting that on with the Summoner when she got her next action. You can see her ATB bar is almost filled, because I would like to have had that applied beforehand so that I didn't have to burn a turn going after the Almagest piece with stone. So the Almagest piece has a very high level. It also has a natural magic evade. So we are going to have to get over both of those in order to land that on there. So when you're at regular levels, landing a break spell is about a 1 in 20 shot on that piece. But later on here, we have a much higher level, and so we can pass the level check. The level check is basically a check between the target and the caster. So if you can overpower its levels, you're in much better shape. And then there is a accuracy check involving the base accuracy of your spell plus your level minus the level of the other one, and then they get an evasion. So the evasion that one has, I think, is 75%. I know I'm being very confusing here. I apologize for that. The evasion of that Almagest piece is 75%. So I have to pass the level check, and then I have to pass the evasion. So I really have two checks I need to get over. That is mixing a Dragon Fang and an Eye Drop to put on Dark Sai on the front piece, so its physical attacks are no longer going to be working. So here, I'm just kind of like, let's boost her a little bit more. She's got to cast Shoat, and she's got to land it. So she has to beat the level check and then beat the magic evade, which I think is 75%. So the best chance I'm going to have on landing that is about 1 in 4. Now, Break itself has only a 75% base accuracy. So it's your level plus the base accuracy minus enemy level is the first check. Then if they have evasion, it checks that again. But I'm likely passing most of those checks because my levels are so high from those characters. I don't know exactly what they are. Shoat has a higher base accuracy. It has a base accuracy of 99 instead of 75. But the bigger concern really is the evade. Now, that's interesting because Delta attack that was reflected right there can actually hit the Almagest piece and kill it. That has happened in runs for me before. It didn't happen in this one. It actually hit the Grand Cross piece. It can also hit the dummy pieces. And I knew as soon as my characters faded out that this Shoat was successful. So I thought that my chances would be about 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 when I had a fully boosted party. So the Almagest piece died while it was shaking, and that keeps the Exdeath sprite, the Neo Exdeath sprite, shaking until the next piece of it dies. That has happened to me before as well. So unfortunately, the sprite is going to shake throughout the whole time that we are targeting that Grand Cross piece at the top. The front piece is in darkness status, so its physical attacks have a very low chance of landing. I also have the Mirage Vest on my Chemist, so I'm helping myself there, and I think I still have a Golem applied as well right here. So my Summoner is starting to work on the Magic Lamp. She's got to get through Bahamut and Leviathan so that Odin is queued up at the very end. We are all protected with Reflect, so any incoming spells from the back piece are going to be bounced off. So we are basically completely safe here, and as long as we can damage the Grand Cross piece fast enough to keep it going through its rotation, we won't even see a Grand Cross. So Dispel landed on Lena right there, and it knocked off her status of Reflect. So she is Oh, there is the laws of physics are broken, or the laws of the universe are broken. So she is no longer reflected. And she probably right there should have reapplied Carbuncle, especially when the second Dispel hit Bartz right there. So I have 2 characters who are susceptible to magic right now. Bartz is staying straight up on the offensive because we've got to get Grand Cross through its HP threshold. Now, I imagine that 7,000 probably did it, but I just keep the pressure on here with another 2 from my Chemist, and another 2,500 or whatever from my Wind Slash. So that almost certainly knocked it into its next rotation. So I'm not too worried. I do have time here to reapply Carbuncle. It's not a problem with Lena. And we're going to keep at the Grand Cross piece with everybody else that we have. We're using Fire 3 that's boosted by the Wizard Rod. Lena actually has the Air Knife in her hand, and that was the fadeaway sound. And so you can see right there, the top piece died, the Grand Cross piece died, and now the sprite is stabilized. This is a flare that was bounced off, but you notice you don't see a damage readout. That flare targeted a dead target, one of Xdeath's 2 dummy targets. This is one I don't use very often. This is actually Shadow Flare from my Chemist. Now, her levels are not boosted up nearly as high as my Mage's, simply because she doesn't get access to easy boosting like the Mages do, and the Geomancer gets access to a boosted Wind Slash, which is whatever. That's really more effective when you have multiple pieces alive. So that's all the Geomancer is really working on doing. So Lena has the Air Knife because the Air Knife will boost the damage of Sildra, which is the best summon you can pick up at the end here for damage. Air Knife boosted Sildra is really, really great. I couldn't put Fire 3 on her because I wanted mix for everybody so that they could be boosting each other up and not have a very, very long buffing phase. So here's Shadow Flare again. It's doing about as much damage as Drain Kiss does, and it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm just listening for the fadeaway sound from that top piece, or the front piece, and as soon as I hear the death sound, I will cue Odin from the Magic Lamp. And that was just a check to make sure that the front piece was indeed still alive, and I'm waiting for someone else to get an action. This is a Holy bounced off of our party, also targeted on a dead or dummy target for Xdeath. And that Wind Slash did not clear out Xdeath, and I see that my Chemist has a turn next. So we are going to cast Sildra right here and take a listen. And as the Chemist's bubble popped up for command menu, I heard the fadeaway sound effect or the death sound effect for the front piece, and so now we're going to use the Odin summon, and that will take care of it. So that is run number 6 in 2018 in the books. Of course, the Chemist is the power player here, but paired with the Summoner and the Black Mage, the Geomancer just really has no chance to keep up. But the Black Mage and Summoner, really high, powerful characters. Of course, the Chemist just boosts everybody up. Chemists can be tricky when working by themselves, but when you've got characters that are that powerful, it makes it pretty easy. So, hope you enjoyed run number 6. Run number 7 in 2018 is going to be a full speedrun race playthrough. That will be a normal run that we will be getting the jobs as we go, and it should be somewhere between 10 and 14-ish hours, and that will be my last Final Fantasy V run of 2018, at least during the Fiesta. So if you've been playing the Fiesta or following along, I hope you've had a good time and enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video.